Hi guys, happy Sunday. This is Marcel from Dapper Street. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. This is a follow-up to a video I posted a week ago, right here. This video was about 6 apps that I use for editing my photos, and I kind of talked about what specific functions I use and what apps and how I use them. And today I want to show you how I use all of them on one photo from beginning to end, so you can really see the process of how I edit my photos anyway, and maybe kind of get an inspiration for your editing process, or if you're just completely new, then you might learn a lot of things, and it's definitely going to show you or help you with implementing what you've learned in the last video. So let's take a look at that. I got a photo that I haven't edited yet that I took in LA a couple weeks ago. Let's see what it looks like. So here we have my photo screen. Here's all my regular stuff, and then this is everything I need for photo and videography and whatnot. So I'm gonna go into photos and then select the photo that I'm going to be editing today. It's this shot. My friend Sarah Kiesling took that. It was right before I did a little bit photo shoot for Audi. Once I select that, I'm going to favorite it. And then I'm going to open up Snapseed. I'm going to click on Open Photo, and I'm going to click on Open Latest Image. If you favorite a photo, it's automatically going to jump into the last row. Snapseed will recognize that that's the photo you're talking about currently. As I said in the video before, this is where I do my basic editing in Snapseed. So I'm going to click on the bottom right, and I'm going to click on Tune Image. When I click on Tune Image, I have the option of scrolling up and down. So I'm going to adjust the brightness a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit brighter. And this is what it looks like with more contrast. I'm gonna take some contrast away. As I said last week, less contrasty photos actually make for better filtering later. So I'm gonna take some contrast away here. I'm gonna take some of the ambiance down, so it's a little bit more moody. See, this is all the way up where you can see everything. It gets more saturated, but I'm going to take the ambiance down just a little bit to make it a little less saturated and a little bit more moody, which I think fits the vibe of the photo. Shadows and highlights are both impacted by contrast, so I'm not going to do that extra in this case. And I'm okay with the warmth, maybe just a tiny bit colder. And I'm going to click out of here and save that. And I'm going to go into details and just up the structure a little bit on the photo, and then up the sharpening on the photo to about 10. I'm gonna accept those changes. So this is the after, and this is the before. Minimal changes, but we're just getting started. So I'm gonna save this, and then press Save a Copy. Waiting for it to save. Successfully saved, and I'm going into FaceTune. As you can see, I have them lined up in the way I want them to. This is another photo, which I don't think I actually love that much. All photos. And I'm going to open the last photo I saved now. I'm going to use maximum size. I don't really care about recommended size. I like editing at full resolution. And I'm going to zoom in on my face. And as I told you, I like using details first. So I'm going to use details to kind of go along my jawline and accentuate that. And through my hair to accentuate the streaks in there, and a little bit over the eyebrows, maybe even the eyes a tiny bit. So this is the difference between before and after. And then I'm going to go into these Ankari Floor sneakers and bring the details out in them a little bit more as well. I think it was a little bit too much on the left shoe. I'm going to erase some of that. Yes. So it helps you to direct the focus a little bit in the photo. Now I'm going to go back to details and just detail the entire wall behind me with the skulls, the animal skulls, and see the before and the after, so that they're just a little bit more prominent. Obviously they're a big part of the photo, and the reason I took the photo there in the first place, so I want them to stand out a little bit. I'm going to accept these details, and then I'm going to go to, I don't need to smooth anything in this photo. My skin is alright, the light's not blown out or anything, so I don't need to smooth anything here. I'm going to go into filters, and then into lighting filters, as I told you. So we either can use lighter to brighten some stuff up, or we can use darken to bring some stuff down. Actually, I think I'm gonna make everything a tad brighter, but just a little bit. I actually don't want to wipe it away. Usually I would say now we go to wipe, and we wipe away what we don't want. Say if my face should stay dark, so my face doesn't not change, but everything else changes. But in this case, I think I just like it to be a little bit brighter altogether. So I'm just going to accept it like that, and then I'm going to save. I'm done in FaceTune for right now. So I'm going to save to camera roll, and we go into the next step, which is VSCO. I'm going to open that up, and since the update, it's been a little weird. I can't really open, there we go. Can't really open it quickly, but here's the image to import. And then you click on the settings, and we start editing. Okay, so the first 3 filters are black and white, so we're not going to go with that. I like the colors in this photo, so I'm going to preserve those. 4 kind of looks cool. So what I do is I go up and down and see how much I like the filter, and then I'm gonna tap the image to see the before and after. I do like 4 a lot, so I'm gonna remember that. I'll move through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 is very green. I kind of like it, but it's very green. The A series is one of my absolute favorites. A lot of these filters would technically work. A5 looks really cool. A6, oh, I really like A9 too. Okay, so 4 and A9 I think are currently my favorites, which they have been for a lot of photos recently. Something to remember about your feed: the more often you use the same filters, the more cohesive your entire feed will look. So I've been using 4, A9, and C8 on a lot of photos. Like C8 here also looks really nice in it. And that's what makes for a more cohesive feed. So like if somebody looks at your page entirely, everything's going to look somewhat organized or meant to be together, even if the photos are very, very different. So C8 I like a lot on here as well. Let's go through. Well, as I just said, I think I'm going to stick with the filters I've been using. So I'm going to use a little bit of C8, just around 4.2. I'm going to accept that, and then I'm going to save the photo. After saving, I always save it at actual size just because I don't want to lose any of the quality. And then I import that photo back into VSCO. I click on edit again, and I'm going to add a second filter. So this already has a C8 filter on there, and I want to see what it looks like with a little bit of number 4 in there as well. And I really like it. I think I'm okay with that. So I'm going to accept that, save to camera roll, actual size. And then we move on to the next app. So I have Afterlight and Enlight in here, which are 2 apps that I use from time to time, but not really. So we're jumping into TouchRetouch on the right, and we're gonna go to albums, go to all photos, and go to the last photo I saved, and we're gonna retouch some stuff that we don't want in there. For example, these little things. I'm gonna go to quick repair using the quick brush, where I just tap it really quickly. We can also use the blemish remover. Doesn't really matter in this case. I just don't want the holes in there. They don't really add to the photo. They're not necessarily distracting, but I just like a clean photo. We can leave them in there. I'm gonna quick repair this just because I want it to be a little bit more clean. And then in the corner, we also really don't need the jacket in there, so I'm gonna quick repair this and see what happens. That kind of works. I'm gonna just see if it recognizes that there should be a line. There we go. Wonderful. So I just quick repaired the same spot several times, and it recognized that there should be a line continuing. And that's all we want to do for here. I don't have any big blemishes or anything on my face, so I'm going to leave that. Okay, and then we're going to save this photo into the gallery. And then I'm actually going to go back into FaceTune right now and open up the last photo I saved. Use the maximum size again. And I'm going to the whiten tool. So I'm going into the whiten tool, and basically what it does, it's just, I'm going to start wiping the wall to make it look really white. Usually this feature is supposed to be for teeth whitening, but in this case I want to use it for desaturating the wall and just making the entire photo look a little bit cleaner. So I'm going to go in and do that kind of in between some of the skulls, not all of them. Towards the back they start looking a lot darker, so you can't really see the colors as much. Everywhere right around here, I'm gonna down here as well, just take the little yellowish color away. That's pretty normal when you take any photo. Usually the white balance will not be perfectly white. So what I'm, just to show you the before and after. Before, after. When you do that, you can also see what parts you've missed so far. Before, after. And I kind of want to see what happens just if I make all of the skulls a little bit whiter. I actually kind of like it. It brightens up the entire photo a little bit. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm actually going to do the wall in the background as well. I'm going to desaturate, whiten that. And I'm going to save this photo like that. Save to camera roll. And then we're going into SKRWT. SKRWT. SKRWT, all photos, and the last photo that I saved. I'm going to import this photo. The first thing I'm going into is the rotation, but it's pretty straight to begin with. The major thing I want is the door line on the right to be completely vertical, like parallel. So I'm going into the vertical adjustment, and I'm just going to pull it to about -0.6. So you see that the lines at the door are all straight now, all perpendicular or parallel to the frames of the photo. And that's what's important to me here. So I'm going to accept that, and I'm going to go into the distortion for mobile, as I told you in the video last week. This is an iPhone shot, so it's usually right around -0.6. I'm going to go just to about 0.4 for the aesthetic of this photo. and then I'm gonna accept that. Save to gallery, and then the very last thing, which I don't think we'll really need here, is going into Darkroom and opening up the last photo and going into the single color channels. So if I desaturate all the yellows, that's what that looks like, which is usually what I do. I'm gonna take some of them out just to make it a little bit cleaner. But everything else really works for me. The blues, you can see that on the floor there's a lot of blues. I don't need to really pull those up. Although my suit is blue. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna saturate them a little bit, and then there's some light blues. I'm gonna take the light blues out a little bit and focus on the deeper blues more. So this is the before and this is the after. It's very, very subtle. This is the last step to the entire process, so it's very subtle. That's pretty much it. So I'm gonna share this one last time. I'm gonna save a copy, and then I'm gonna open up Instagram. This is what we got. That's the photo, and that's all of it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. You can see that there's a lot of work going into one single photo, one single post. It's an iPhone photo, not a camera photo. With a camera photo, it would go on the computer first before I do all of this. So there's a lot of work going into it, but I hope you did take something away from all of it, because I don't know, it's fun to create. I think it's just fun to create this beautiful moment and like recreate what you feel in the moment. And I hope it really helped you pull together the information from last week, so you know how to use those apps, and that you saw that I go back into some apps after putting them through other apps. That's a really important thing. Just take your time, have fun with it. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Please do give me a thumbs up. If you have any other video ideas, I am still working on a few, but if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments. If you have any comments about this video, any questions about editing, let me know. I try and get back to every one of you. I have been slacking on that, but I'm going to get to that today, actually. So thank you for watching. I hope to see you here soon. If you don't want to miss anything, subscribe to my channel. And until then, stay dapper and enjoy your Sunday night. Bye, guys.